while driving.
Welcome to the Black Healing Journals. We're your host, Ashley.
And Nikki B. And today I have one of my closest friends, Molly Mall, in the building, man.
How you doing? How y'all doing?
Introduce yourself for the people.
My name is Jamal Harkness. I go by Molly Mall. I've been knowing Banks for like 10 years now.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Old as hell. Yeah, this is my guy, and we go way back. And I can't wait to be on here with you guys.
That's my guy.
It's going to be fun.
So the goal of this podcast is to bring, awareness to mental health, the importance of it, to break the stigmas that are placed on it, especially within, our community, the Black community. So what is like y'all's mental health? How important it is to y'all on a personal level?
On a personal level, for me, I think it's very important, especially coming from where I came from. Like in my earlier years, I dealt with depression, things like that. So mental health's always been pretty serious for me and the people I've been around.
Well, growing up, I really didn't take mental health as serious as I do now. As being younger, you had a lack of knowledge of mental health.
Mm-hmm.
But, get older, you start realizing, okay, how mental health affects this, how it affects your relationships, your body, stuff like that. So over the years, I gained more knowledge. So on the scale like 1 to 10, back then, it's probably like a 5. Now, I get like 8 or 9 of how important it is to me. So, yeah, it's pretty important to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm like you. I think, both of y'all can relate really because, when I was in middle and high school, and even some in college, I dealt with depression too. And I even had like a little attempt at high school at one point too. It got so bad. So I feel like back then, it wasn't as important because I didn't know what exactly it was that I was struggling with. But, like you said, growing up now and being more aware of what it is and like how to manage it is definitely a very important aspect of my life now that I actually put the effort to, work towards it and manage it and learn myself from a mental aspect every day.
Mm-hmm.
So as we're talking about like mental health and, just dealing with everyday stress, what are y'all biggest like coping methods that y'all deal with to manage y'all's mental health?
When I was in college, when I first figured out what was going on with me and learning about how important taking your mental health was, my first meeting, he gave me a list. My therapist at Smith, I forgot his name. I wish I remember his name. But he gave me a list of things to do. And so the things that I do is what I do to this day. He told me, go home, make a playlist with all the music that makes you feel good. And I use this playlist to this day. He said, go home, take a shower, put on new clothes, start your day all the way over. Then eat some food and breathe, pray, do something, play your music, and just for 30 minutes to an hour after that day, just start your day over, take some time to breathe, and just understand that it's going to be okay. You're not doing more, you're doing okay, you're not. In that moment of time, I was just so anxious about not having my shit together. Mm-hmm. Just always having because I was the type I didn't want to fuck with you as a girl. I didn't want to fuck with you. If I didn't have my shit together, I was like, talk to him about that. And he was always be like, well, Jamal, you're in college. Not supposed to. Now, this is the only time that you can talk to girls and don't want nothing back. That's cap, by the way. But he was just like, just understand you're moving too fast. Stop looking at the big picture and take it piece by piece. Just understand hey, whoa, moving too fast. Slow down, take a breath. You're okay. Okay, so
I like that though. I like that. Starting over.
Yeah, just start your day all over. Yeah. Take a shower. And it's something so simple, but a fresh shower, it does something to you. It just makes you feel good. You just feel like you just washed all the bad stuff off. So you just feel like a new person.
And I think that's kind of hard for some people to do, just to be able to start over. Mm-hmm. Like simply starting over your day. Like some people want to start over life, but like starting over your day is so simple, but it's so hard for people to do. Because you don't think about doing it. So I like that. That's good advice from him. So I might try that. Oh, yeah. I like that one. I think for me, coping, as far as growing up, like I was an athlete. So, I guess, sports was my getaway
in the field.
Yeah, from life and that. But, a season exactly what it's a season. It only lasts for so long. So, after that season, what are you doing? So I became a gym rat. So that was my mentally, that's how I cope with like life. I was in the gym for like 2 or 3 hours. Like it was so crazy. I was in the gym so long that
that energy, that steam out.
Yeah, it just, and it was nothing about like working out, just like being in that safe space. Like the gym was my safe space. It didn't matter. It was just like a little small gym, a big gym. I'm just going to do something physical. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying, get my body going. But that's how I kind of cope with life. Like I said, being younger, I didn't know what depression was. I didn't know what anxiety was. So, but not knowingly, I was using the exercising as a way to, you know what I'm saying, cope with things. Like, okay, I'm not having a good day. Let me go to the gym. Not knowing that, okay, I probably was depressed that day. I kind of like overlooked it because I went to the gym. So that's kind of how I kind of got through most of my teenage years, college years. Cause even at college, I was working out like twice a day. Morning workouts, then go in the afternoon, then go to practice. So yeah, I know a lot of people use different ways to kind of cope with things, but I think exercising was a good way for me. Plus meditation, use my music to get my day started or isolate myself. But
I think another thing I do is I use my friends for sure. I know for sure, like when it was really rough and I was figuring out what this was, if I was having a bad day, I would figure out where Lance was or relief was. Somebody that makes me laugh. Somebody that's funny as me or funnier than me. Because when I'm down, you need somebody that can bring you up. So I always just find those two because Lance is always smiling. He's always
Lance.
He's always in a positive mood. And Leaf is just, he I don't know, he just knows. I can't explain it. He just knows. He just knows how to make you laugh. He just knows that you're feeling bad. Just being around good energy people too. Or is another way I kind of cope. And
yeah, that's like so we've been friends for like 10 years. But I want to say like 8 years ago, I want to say I was still like kind of isolated from everyone. We met, we were still cool, but I still want to isolate myself. And that was kind of my negative way of coping with stuff. But
yeah,
we'll talk about it a little later. What about you, Ashley?
I think mine is more like a creative aspect. Because I played sports in high school, but I don't really like to work out. And I think isolation is more one of my negative things I do a lot. But I know creative, like when I was in high school, like I used to love making PowerPoints. I don't know why. Like I used to make some mean ass PowerPoints when I was in high school. Just for like the design aspect of it. Like that was my thing. But my mom was like, you can't go to college for PowerPoint. So that's how I got into graphic designing. And I realized like that, like it brought so much like joy to me on the inside to where like that's what I use to cope when I'm like feeling down. I'm gonna make a shirt, make a logo. I'm gonna do something to creatively de-stress myself out. So I think now, like, even now I have my own business, but that helps a lot because it gives me something else to focus on mentally. So that way I'm not so stuck on what's stressing me out, like the rest of everything else. So creative stuff, definitely like that, even with painting or hiking, stuff like creative different things that just de-stress me out or how I cope now.
Yeah. Ain't nothing like a mean ass PowerPoint.
I'm telling you. I used to make PowerPoints just for the hell of it. I was proud. I used to make some great, like people used to pay me in college to make their PowerPoints. Like I was good. So I know you get on the topic of like negative aspects. Now I just said that even isolation for me sometimes it could be a healthy and a non-healthy kind of way of coping. I know with me, I like being by myself because like I just know how to handle myself. I think better when I'm in one of those moods. I just feel like sometimes people don't always know how to deal with you when you're in that space. It's healthy, but it's not healthy because like I disassociate a lot when I get like that. But at the same time, it's like I know what I need. I don't feel like explaining to somebody else to give me what I need. So I'm just going to remove myself for like a day or two and just come back better. So
me being isolated kind of happened by accident. Like I said, I was the youngest child. But I went from the youngest child to being the only child. So I kind of like was kind of forced to be isolated because I was always by myself at home. So then it kind of translated to the school. Okay, I work better with myself. So I isolate myself, even lunchtime, isolate myself. And it kind of carried to college where, like I said, like 8 years ago, we've been friends for 10 years, but 8 years ago, I was still isolating myself just to get myself together, get away from people, stuff like that. But looking back at it, I know that wasn't a good idea for mentally trying to get over certain stuff. Never. It works out sometimes, but in most situations, you need somebody to have you there for comfort, something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Like even now, I have maybe really like 2 people, maybe 3, 2 solid people that I know that if I'm having a bad day, I can go to them. They can like listen to me. Like they won't give up. Like they'll just let me just rant about what I need to like get off my chest, and they'll just sit there and listen to me talk till I feel better. So like I feel like even people like that is good for you because you don't always like need advice or someone to like give you a solution. So that's always a good outlet for me too, having those 2 people I can depend on. Just, hey, I need to rant real quick. Just listen to me talk for like 2 minutes. So yeah.
What about like alcohol, drugs? Did that play a factor for you for coping?
Oh yeah. College was
For sure.
college was a big one for me. I think even like you said, the isolation thing, like, you know, I was not the most social person. I'm still not, but back in college, it was worse than what it is now. Like I would use it to cope with, you know, family or shit that's going on with my parents at the time. Like I was using alcohol. I was drunk almost every weekend, smoking almost every weekend. And it didn't take me until after I graduated college to realize like, oh, this shit is not healthy. Like you can't be getting drunk for no reason at like Tuesday at 2:00 in the afternoon. So I was doing
Tuesday is a little wild, but
but yeah, like even like I made a choice to stop smoking like a year and a half ago. I'm like, what am I doing it for? It's just for a temporary relief kind of thing. Till I realized I had to find healthier ways to deal with my stress besides getting drunk or getting high. Like, you have any negative coping habits?
I guess drugs. I don't like alcohol no more, for real. After college, I was partied out my alcoholness. Probably just, I guess, drugs. Because weed, like I said, I smoke when I'm in the process of getting over something, and probably disassociating too. It's not as bad now, but if it gets real bad, if I'm like really in like a mood, then I'll back away from everybody. I'll isolate. I guess kind of just cut people off. Yeah. And not tell nobody, so they're just like, what happened?
Yeah.
Why'd you leave the group chat? And it just be like a real bad, I call it a storm. It's just a real bad storm. And then after like, you know, a day or two, just a couple hours, and I go through that process and I come back and like, have me back again. Yeah.
Well, that's for like alcohol, drugs, stuff like that. Yeah, I really didn't use it for coping as.
I just like smoking now.
Yeah. So like I said, I was in the gym. I took care of my body. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I started hanging out with friends. I started drinking and smoking and stuff like that. But it was never to cope with anything. It was always to enjoy myself. You know. But you know, some days where I think one time I got drunk because I was in a bad mood, and that probably the worst thing I ever did in my life. Like to get drunk.
It only makes you feel worse. Yeah, it don't really help.
It's alcohol can be so fun, but it can be the worst thing you can do, the worst decision you can make in the wrong time.
Yeah, I guess because like it's a depressant, so it makes
you make you feel like shit more.
And then you drink it while you're feeling bad, and I was like,
yeah, they'll say like I become like self-aware that if I'm in a bad mood, I'm having a bad day, I know I don't mean go towards any kind of liquor, weed, anything like that. I mean, I might smoke weed sometimes, but I know that weed brings out that third person talk. You know,
it depends on what I'm coping over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if it's something like this and just having a bad day, I probably won't stop over that. Or I might just hit a little one time. But if it's like, for example, like a death in the family or something, then I'm blowing down. I'm blowing down.
So do you think that affects like people in today's society, how they feel like they gotta choose like drugs, alcohol to cope with stuff?
I feel like a lot of people do.
Yeah. But I feel like most of that too is also
I think
social media influence.
Social media too.
Yeah, people feel like all the people that they're so-called look up to, they're drinking and partying and smoking like every other weekend. So I feel like that also, like the peer pressure of it, it's like you have to do it to fit in. But I also feel like that plays into like who you keep around you too. Cause like, I know when I was in college, I used to hang around people who want to party every weekend. Yeah. They want to be drunk every weekend. And then once I graduated and I filtered out who I was surrounding myself with, and then realized that, if I hang around people that are more positive in how they deal with their struggles, then I'm not going to be drinking every weekend.
Yeah, it's all about the crowd. But the crowd you keep.
Yeah.
That's all for a person that works in the club. I see that people will come in there like week in, week out. Oh yeah, man, I just had a bad week. I'm just here to get fucked up.
Yeah.
And they leave, they get drugged out, they fighting and stuff like that. And I was like, I see this every fucking week. And it's like, it gets worse and worse every time. And like, that's what our society has got to, where we got to get fucked up, got to go to the club. We got to do what other people are doing to cope with what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the influence we have on each other is terrible right now. Like we as a people, we influence each other. You know, no matter what, somebody gonna influence somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that you never know who's watching. So you might see somebody getting fucked up in the club. Somebody else might be watching you get fucked up in the club, and just continue this cycle. And we just gotta like do better as a people. Like society, just like put better, more positive light of how to cope with stuff. So that's why I like this podcast where, okay, instead of getting fucked up in the club,
take a walk.
Try something else. Yeah. Start your day over. Yeah. Shit like that. You know, Jeff, you saying that earlier could have somebody now, like, start your day over.
Yeah.
Don't worry about drinking.
I think making the choice to choose healthier coping methods is also a big thing too. Like, you have to choose to want to be better, choose to want to get help in a healthier aspect. Even now, like, one of my friends now, we went on our first hike like a couple of months ago. Like, I would never think about going hiking anywhere, you know. But then she like opened my mind to want to try new shit, and I went like, oh, this is kind of cool. Trying new shit. Like, I saw my first waterfall in person. Like, it was real nice.
And I love nature. Nature's the biggest, I guess, reminder that you're not as big as you think you are.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. This world is huge. It's not as bad as you think it is. Especially like you think about, like going to the beach or just going up in the mountains. You just like, or when I went to the Grand Canyon, I was like, all of this is just like God or whoever you believe in. They made all this.
Yeah.
Who am I? Who am I? Oh, I just be driving on the highway. You be like, all these people are going somewhere. It's not just me. Like, everybody's going. You're not. It's not as bad as you think it is.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, like nature. The one other thing about nature is that it reminds you that life can be so simple.
So simple.
So simple. Like we
make it hard.
We let other shit that's artificial control our mindset, our mental capacity. So like getting one with nature. Like, I just realized that like getting one with nature, it really can really change your lifestyle. You know, that's simple shit. We're looking at a squirrel eat some, you know what I'm saying, eat an acorn. Boy, some simple shit, but it's so relaxing just to see something.
They said that you get positive, there's actual like healthy benefits from like just putting your feet in grass for like 10 minutes or like hugging a tree for like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I was like, wow. And I actually like walking around barefoot outside when I'm not in Charlotte, like when I'm out in the country. When I'm not in the country, there's none but grass. I
catch them black feet out here.
Yeah. I definitely be outside just walking in grass.
Yeah. That's my doctor told me that I kind of took it the wrong way because she was a white doctor. She told me to be in the sun some more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but
that's the thing.
I said, what do you mean by being in the sun more? You trying to tell me I'm not black? Well, no, she said I got low vitamin D, but she said that vitamin D it affects your energy, your mental state. Taking some time being in the sun a little bit, 30 minutes a day, be in the sun.
Yeah, I work from home now. I hate it. I gotta be outside.
Yeah,
I don't be doing something. I don't like being in the house all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think a big thing also to remember is that, you know, getting help, nothing wrong with getting help. And I think that's nothing that society now, maybe not now, but I think in the Black community was like looked down on, that, you know, if you get help, something's wrong with you, or, you know, you have issues. But I think that it's the first step to being in a healthier mindset altogether. I feel like you shouldn't feel bad for wanting to get help or wanting to figure out what are your triggers or your, you know, what sets you off. I feel like that's a big misconception when it comes to mental health. People say, oh, you're crazy, something's wrong with you. Like, that's not always true.
Yeah, I just think about that too. Like, so my mom used to be like, mentally, she used to be drained a lot. I'm like, Mom, you gotta, it's not that hard to switch your mood like that, but some people it's hard. It's hard to get out of the funk or not having somebody to help you get out of that funk. So I think like now I look back like, okay, I understand. You know what I'm saying?
I think one thing with this generation that's really, really bad, because everybody's so freaked out nowadays, is everybody's using the other as, I guess, sex to cope or, fucking the pain away.
Yeah.
I know a lot of guys do that for sure. I know I had a lot of friends before. I mean, it's all evolved now. I know I have friends before they realized what it became self-aware. They were definitely like using women to deal with their pain or, to get all that frustration or whatever out, which is probably the worst way. Like you said, it's worse than the drugs now because you're using somebody.
Yeah.
All the other stuff you're hurting yourself, but with this one, there's somebody else involved. Like you don't really care about them for just using them. It's just a piece of meat.
Yeah.
I think, and people now are making sex so easy to get.
Yeah.
And two, everybody just like, I guess expected is kind of wrong, but I guess for lack of a better word, kind of just expect it to come so easy now.
I mean, cause it's everywhere.
And it's just like. Everybody's so America's overly horny.
Overly
horny.
Sexualized.
Like everything's hypersexualized. So I think just all that stuff pushed on top of it, and they're like, oh, this is the easiest way to cope because it's there.
Yes.
I'm talking porn too. Like it's there, it's easy, it's everything, and it's not it's probably one of the worst ways to cope because you just messing your mind up, thinking that's how you're supposed to. You're never gonna understand the ramifications down the line. You don't know how to have a real relationship for real because you always just think it's about sex and things like that.
Yeah, because that's the first thing you see in the morning, last thing you see at night. So like it's embedded in our minds to like mentally it's embedded to us think about sex 24/7.
Right. And then it's like I'm feeling bad. I wonder what Lisa's doing. Lisa's at work. Oh man, it's another bad day. I wonder what Carrie's doing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, wonder what Charmaine's doing. And it's just it never runs. It's just a never ending cycle. And it's a path of your destruction. Just all these in the end result it'd be a line of broken women. And it's just
I mean also broken men too, because you can find
you're breaking yourself. You're just breaking yourself continuously. I mean, or men if that's women do it too. So
yeah.
Just period. It's a trail of broken people. That's just you eventually are gonna have to atone for because you were using these people for the wrong things.
Sorry. You said the word right there.
So what would be y'all advice to people who are trying to explore different coping methods to manage their mental health?
Stay off the Don't run to alcohol. Don't run to sex. Figure out how to get help. Find your person, honestly. I think it's the biggest one. You gotta have one person you can talk to. Whether it's God, your best friend, your mama. You gotta have one person where you feel safe to kind of let it out and go through that coping process, whether it's crying or, making a PowerPoint or whatever it may be, just having somebody that it's like, okay, you can be yourself here type of deal. This means where you have, I guess, a safe space to be vulnerable so you can kind of deal with it outside of alcohol, drugs, sex, ghosting people.
Well, I can say that life is a series of attempts, You're not going to get it all on the first try. You might fuck up here and there, when it comes to coping, trying to figure out what works for you. A lot of people do run to the negative shit first, drugs, sex, alcohol, and just partying and stuff like that. Because that's what society has told us how to cope. They feel like that's the norm. If I'm not smoking weed, I'm not drinking, I'm lame, I'm not doing nothing with myself. But like I said, like taking the time to just be not say by yourself, but going back to the simple things in life, like nature. The simplest thing on earth is nature, because it deals with it. It doesn't change. Head off, nobody. But it doesn't change. It has the same cycle, the same routine every day. So trying to cope with the negative stuff is not hard, but we make it hard. If you're trying to like figure yourself out, gain that self-awareness, it's simple. Just from start your day over, just to talk to somebody or just taking time to just figure yourself out. It can be so simple. So it's like I said, life is a series of attempts. You ain't got to get it all in one try, but as long as you work towards it and find something that's positive that works for you, you can make something work for yourself.
I saw this quote the other day, like anxiety is just conspiracy theories about yourself. So like none of these things are probably ever gonna happen.
Right.
So don't stress yourself with it. Just don't stress yourself. Keep control you control. I think that that manages a hell of a lot of my stress. Because a lot of stuff we worried about is stuff that we can't control. We can't control if we get fired or not. Somebody might wake up and be like, oh, they did budget cuts and you're gone. But if you're doing a good job, you can control doing a good job. You can control coming to work every day. Just something simple like that, as an example. But just control what you control.
I think my biggest one would be to remember that, not every coping method is going to fit you personally. I feel like, when I finally came out to my parents about how I was, about my depression and stuff, they were like, oh, you need to be in therapy. I'm like, I don't want to talk to a stranger about how I'm feeling right now. I'm already telling you, like, just let me process it. But they're like, they used to push therapy on me so bad when I was in high school. I'm like, this is not working for me. Like now, great, love it. But like back then, just like that's not what I need mentally right now. So I feel like, taking the time to, like y'all been saying, to figure out what you like, exercising, going outside, listening to music, stuff like that. Give your time, be patient with yourself to figure out what helps you relax, what helps you calm down, what helps you manage your stress the best way. Would be my best advice.
Yeah. And also, yourself, so you never know who's watching you as well.
That's fact.
So, like I said, we all influence each other. We all watch each other, seeing what's happening, what's going to be the next big thing. Okay, just like you watch somebody's watching you. So if you're doing the wrong thing or you're going to drugs first, going to sex first, somebody's going to follow your son, going to see that and do the same shit. It can be your...
Most of the time it's a young person.
Yeah, it could be somebody, your sibling, your cousin, your next door neighbor. You don't know who is watching you. So, like, we have to do a better job as a people, society, to influence the next person in a positive way. Because once we start doing that, our society will once again thrive. But right now, we're slowly dying away of dumb shit, of drugs,
stupid stuff,
dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? People are dying over pussy. You know what I'm saying? People are dying over dumb shit. So you got to do a better job of following the suit of the right example, leading by example in a positive way.
Yeah. I think, my biggest goal with this podcast too in general is just to give people an outlet. They don't feel like they have an outlet to deal with their mental health and be like, oh, it's okay that I don't feel okay today. Like, that's not the issue. So I think, giving our listeners just like an understanding of different ways to manage their mental health and your triggers or things that may just set you off or things that can help you de-stress is like my biggest goal for this season.
Oh.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our first episode of the Black Healing Journals. You can rate and review us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And you can also join our Facebook group and follow us on Instagram, all handles at the Black Healing Journals. We are your host, Ashley.
And make it be.
And always remember that mental health is a sign of strength and not weakness.